Women's health care is about to become a lot more accessible in Eureka Springs. Billy Brightman is live in the newsroom to tell us all about a ribbon cutting that is happening to celebrate that milestone. Billy, good morning.
Good morning. The University of Arkansas for Medical Services has 2 women's mobile health clinics that drive around the state serving rural communities. And now that unit will be making stops in Eureka Springs. It'll start out on the second Tuesday of every month, but there are already hopes to expand those visits to twice a month. The clinic on wheels is focused on women and infant health. That includes everything from labs, prenatal and postpartum care to annual checkups and breast and cervical cancer screenings. When the clinic comes to town, it comes with a team, including an MD, a nurse, and a community health worker.
A community health worker really helps us provide that whole care to a patient. So outside of the clinical care, that community health worker can connect them to resources locally so that they have what they need to have healthy pregnancies and just better health overall. So whether it's like food scarcity issues or if it's just transportation.
That ribbon cutting ceremony is today at 10 a.m. at the Eureka Springs Hospital. Live in the newsroom, Billy Brightman, KY3 News.